In this video, we need to access our orders from order screen. And for that, we will add a new screen and name it order screen. And in there, I'm going to add a stateless widget and call it order screen. And as always, let's add a scaffold with app bar and body. And in the body, I'm going to adding list view builder. And before we continue, we need to make a connection to our orders provider. So in the build function here, let's add our providers to orders and telling him about provider package and order package. Now we can set item count to my orders list length. So let's use orders to reach my order list and get its length. And then we have item builder, which will return a widget called OrderItemStyle, which we will create now. So in the widget folder here, let's add a new file and name it OrdersItem, and let's create a stateless widget and call it OrderItemTile and importing the material app. And our order item here is going to return a card widget with a margin and a column as a child. And the column will show orders data. So first let's get orders object from our constructor. So let's add final order item and telling him about the order items data type. Of course we need to delete this and you can add to the constructor. Now let's edit our column. First let me add a list tile in the children of this column. And the list tile here has a title and subtitle with the total price and the date of this order. And for the total price, we are using this object here to get the total price with the $sign symbol, and here we are getting the order date. And one more thing, let's add a trailing icon button to expand our tile later to show our card items. So let's add a trailing here with an icon expand more. We will come back to this part later in this video. Now it's time to get back to our order screen, and in the item builder we'll return order item tile widget and telling him of course about this widget, and it requires an order. And now we need to pass order object, so let's do this. So here we are going to use our provider to get my orders list and select one index for each element in this list view. So orders here will be orders.myOrdersList, which will take the index of this item or this element in our list view. That's it. But we need to let the user to access this page, and for that there's many ways you can do this. It's up to your imagination or your design that tells you where to access this page from. But here for me, I'm going to add in the main shopping screen a floating action button to our scaffold here, which take a floating action button which has a shortcut. Here let me use another constructor for this widget, which is extended because it has a label. So first let me add a label and call it my orders. And here in onPress we are going to pass a function, anonymous function. And here in the onPass we are going to pass anonymous function. And let's refactor or reformat our code. Also I want to give this floating button a color, which is going to be a pink to follow up with the color of the application. Now we need to navigate to our new screen. So let's run the app and see if our floating button appears. Nice. Now we need to press this button to navigate to our order screen. So first in the order screen, let's define a static constant ID for this page and call it order screen. And in the main.dart screen in the material app root, I'm gonna to duplicate this and telling him about order screen, and of course importing the file of this page. And let's back to our main shopping screen. Here in onPress, let's navigate to our order screen using the named route because it makes your code more cleaner and more understandable for other developers that know the rules of your application from one page here. So it's kind of bit describe how good you are in writing your code. Now let's hot reload and test this button. Now we are going to our orders screen. Now let's add some products and check if everything is working, and here to our card order now. Now if we go to my orders, you will find a new order. Once again, here's another order. Now you can see our orders here. That's great. One more thing to do is to make our orders item expandable when you press this button. So let's go to order item tile page, and first thing to do is turning this state list to stateful. And to do this shortcut, you pressing an option and enter. On Mac and Windows, I think it's alt and enter. So it's turning it to stateful, and that's because the screen is going to change. So we need to use set state function, and to use this set state you need to be a stateful widget. Now we need a new variable to control the state of our order list tile. So in the orders item state class here, let's add a boolean value is expanded, and given initial value is with false because it's not going to be expanded when the screen starts. And in the onPressed here, we will use a set state function, and inside it we are gonna to toggle the is expanded variable here, and that basically means if expanded is a false, turn it to the opposite value, which is true, and the otherwise it's okay also. If it's true, turn it to a false. After that we will use this expanded variable here to show a new widget and change the icon button. Let's start with the icon button here. And for that, I'm going to use a ternary operator and telling him if it is expanded, get this icon, else get the other icons. The first icon expanded list, and the other one is here, expanded more. So this is mean if it's this true, return this. If it's not, return this. Now close the list tile widget will add a new widget, but only if is expanded is true. And if it's true, return an empty container. And the child of this container will be a list view. And the list view is required a children's, and the children's of this list view will be the card items. So let's map over card items of this order here and return a row with each element in this list. So delete this, and to do this we're gonna to access this in a stateful widget. Of course we are gonna to use a widget to orders to connect it to this variable here, and then we need the card items list. Then I'm gonna to map over this list, and every element for this list will return a new widget, which is a row. Of course, we need here a list of widgets. So to turn this to a list, just use toList function. And now the error is gone, and let's reformat the code. And here in the row, let's add the children's, and I'm gonna to make it basic. So let's add 3 children's, one with the title and one with the quantity and one with the price. Of course, the E here can be a product, the product of each element in the card list or card items list. One more thing for the container, it needs a height, and the height is going to be the length of the card items list. If it has 2 items, 3 items, 4 items, I'm gonna to take this integer value and I'm gonna to multiply it with 25 or 28 value. So the height is going to change based on the card item. Now let's rerun the app, see if everything is okay. Let's add some products and place a new order and go to our orders here. If we press here, we should see these values here, but it's kind of ugly. Grab this ticket or grab this title with expanded, and here we can add a sized box. Okay, I think that's nice. Now you should be proud of yourself, because you are now should be very good familiar with managing state with provider. Also, you have made a simple shopping app project that you can add to your GitHub. And I wish you enjoyed my tutorials and learned cool tips with me. And if you need more tutorials in the future, you know what you have to do. And do me a favor and like this video and share it with your Flutter group friends. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. See you in the future. Bye.